Talk to us about what we're hearing for the first time.
OK, well, we've put 3 questions to the public just to get their reaction to what's been happening. The first is, do you think the King has made the right decision to strip Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor, formerly Prince Andrew, of his Prince title? And 79% of those surveyed said it was the right decision for Andrew to be stripped of his title. We also asked, do you think the royal family has dealt with the revelations about Andrew's relationship with Jeffrey Epstein too quickly, too slowly, or about the right speed? And 58% said the royal family had dealt with the revelations about the right speed. So 21% 58% thought it was too slow, and 21% thought it was about right. So, the majority feeling that this could have been done and handled more quickly, which actually, when you think about it, obviously a lot of royal commentators have been saying they've been quite surprised by this. It's been radical, it's been decisive, but actually when you hear from the public here, they feel that this has been too slow. And then finally, we asked, which of the following comes closest to your view on the King's response to revelations about Andrew's relationship with Jeffrey Epstein? And 53% think the King has realistically done all he can to separate the royal family from Andrew, with 28% saying the King could do more to separate the royal family from Andrew. And again, if you look at royal commentators, they've been saying this is drastic, this is radical what he's done. He's taken away pretty much everything he can take away, his titles and his home, or his royal home at least. Falling short of putting him out on the street, actually it is quite difficult for further moves from the King here in terms of the powers that he has. Obviously, there are other things that Andrew could do. And I think that may be reflected slightly in this answer, this feeling, A, that it's been too slow, and B, that there is perhaps more around Andrew, that perhaps he does need to go and to speak to authorities about his involvement here.
I can understand the split. I can understand royal watchers, royal experts going, look, you've got to think about all the mechanisms of state, all these kind of centuries-old traditions and these kind of levers and different actions you've got to take. But I can also understand the public going, well, just get on and do it.
Well, this is it, isn't it? And I think it is also the public feeling a little bit like they were told, oh, we can't do this, that can't happen, that would be impossible. And then suddenly it has happened. The King has done it. He has kind of gone above, he's gone over Parliament, he's managed to do it very quickly, he's got him off the roll of peerage, and that's all happened instantly. The one thing that isn't going to happen immediately is him moving out of the House. Because that's just, it takes a little bit of time to move house. He's not going to, but even that, I was told by a royal source, needs to happen as soon as possible. So there has been this quick change. And it's the first time it's felt like the royal family has been ahead of the game. The King's slightly been ahead of the curve and taken people by surprise in his actions. And even then, it is interesting, as you'd say, the public look on this and say, well, this was obvious from the start. We should have just completely severed his ties and extracted him from the royal family, which, of course, is what he's now done. And
I'm thinking of the comments that Alistair Bruce, our royal commentator, a royal expert and watcher, knows the maturations of the family better than anybody in some respects, using the word creative, saying this was a creative way the King had gone about stripping that title. And I'm sure, whilst there'd been a lot of political pressure building up, certainly amongst the opposition parties, the government probably quite quietly pleased that parliamentary time, business and effort hasn't bbeen used in that manner, and that this has been kept in effect within the family.
Yeah, and I think the King made that point as well. The royals have been making it clear they wanted this not to take up time in Parliament. They wanted a quick and effective. Once the decision is made to do this, and this is a tough decision. This is a brother using his birthright power to strip the titles that his brother was born with from him. And once he's made that tough decision, then yes, I think actually it's easier for everyone if he just does it himself, doesn't have to put it through Parliament, and obviously, like you say, it's been done creatively. There'll be this quick question now around the succession, should he still be 8th in line to the throne? And I think, we heard Alistair Bruce as well talking about that. Essentially, he will remain 8th in line to the throne, but it will never happen. Yeah, because obviously
catastrophe of unparalleled.
Catastrophe. Even if an unparalleled catastrophe happened to the royal family, there would still be a parliamentary approval process that would remove him from the running.